So I'm Dr. Lutz Mehdi, Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I'm going to take the topic path testing and data flow testing for the subject software testing and art testing. So path testing is a name given to the family of test technique based on judiciously selecting a set of test paths through the program. If the set of paths are properly chosen, then we have achieved some measures of test thoroughness. For example, pick enough paths to assure that every source statement has been executed at least once. Path testing techniques are the oldest of all structural methods. So it is applicable to the new software for unit testing. It's a structural technique. It requires complete knowledge of the program structure. So it's most often used by programmers to unit test their code. The effectiveness of path testing rapidly deteriorates as the size of the software aggregates under test increases. Assumption. For example, so go to X where go to Y has been intended. Structured programming prevents many of the bugs. So as a consequence of the effectiveness, it is reduced in the languages like COBOL, ALP, Fortran and Basic. The path testing is indispensable. So data flow testing, it refers to the form of structural testing. So it is used for compiler automation. It attempts to bridge the gap between testing, branch testing and path testing. Data flow testing suffers from unexecutable paths. The focus is on the locations where variables are defined and used. In definition, value stored in the main memory. The value fetched from main memory. Data flow diagrams or charts are modeling notations used at different abstraction levels. It detects or defines anomalies, a variable that is defined but never used, unused variables, undefined variables, redundant operations used more than once, data reads from location not previously written to. The anomalies can be discovered by static analysis. Early work was done in 1980s. The research adapts the formalization of the program graph, which nodes corresponds to program statements. Edges corresponds to flow of information, single entry and exit points. So no self loop nodes. So node G of P defining node is written as definition of V, N. If and only if the value of the variable V is defined at the statement fragment corresponding to node N. So G of P refers to flow graph of program P. So usage node, it's a variable written as use of V, N. So it's a statement fragment corresponding to node N. Predicate. A usage node is either a predicate use used by P use or a computation use denoted by C use. The nodes corresponding to P use have the out degree of 2. So then the nodes corresponding to C use always have out degree of 1. So definition or use subpath. A definition path with the respective variable V is a path in path such that V there are defined and usage nodes. M is the initial node, N is the final node. So definition with respect to DC path, it's a path is a initial and final node. DF testing requires the test data execute DC path from each node containing a global definition of a variable to specified nodes containing global C users and edge containing P users of that variable. Significance. DU paths and DC paths capture the essence of computing with stored data values. They describe the flow of data across source statements from their locations where the values are defined to locations where the values are used. They are not considered as problem